now pretty much everything is going towards battery storage.
So really, yeah, it's resiliency from the grid, but also, that electric bill wasn't cheap either.
If you want maximum redundancy, go with a solar system and a battery system that gives you that generator recharge option.
With EG4 products, it's becoming more cost effective to do larger systems.
How much power, how much energy is being consumed, and then why,
Right.
why the selection of the dual FlexBOSS 21 as the main engine of the system.
The smarter way to go solar.
Hi everyone, Joe Ordia here for Solar Surge, and today we're coming to you from Covington, Texas. We're going to be taking a look at a hands-on installation of a FlexBOSS 21 system. This afternoon I'm joined by Brian Beggs, who's the CEO and President of SkyGrid Solar Solutions. And Brian, it's really great to meet you.
Yes, great to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to chat with us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Absolutely. So, in this video, we're going to be looking at a hands-on installation, whole house solar and battery backup with generator backup as well, using the new FlexBOSS 21 hybrid system.
Yes.
So before we dig into the weeds on this particular setup, tell me a little bit about SkyGrid Solar Solutions. What kind of projects do you guys specialize in?
Yes, so we're a local solar installation company that specializes in battery backup and off-grid systems. So we do off-grids more than we do grid ties, but we kind of do it all. My family's been doing this for 15 years. So the battery, generator, and all that kind of stuff, we do turnkey installations, put them all together, all the pieces. And the FlexBOSS system is just the next piece in the puzzle here.
Okay, great, great. As you know, pretty much all solar residential now is going to battery storage. The off-grid community used to be kind of a smaller niche part of the solar community. Now, pretty much everything is going towards battery storage. A lot of the jurisdictions are losing the one-for-one net metering buyback programs. Yep. So tell us, for this particular home, again, we're in Covington, Texas, about an hour outside of Dallas. What was this homeowner looking to achieve with the solar and storage solution?
Right. Now, this is kind of a trend with my job in this particular area of Texas. Power failure is relatively common. The grid's not too stable. People infamously mention the Snowmageddon story.
Right.
So that a little bit from the homeowner here, they just wanted consistency. And so by having the battery backup, they could use their solar and they could use it at night, but most importantly, they can use it exactly when they need it. And then they have a backup generator as well for even when the batteries get low, that generator can auto start, charge everything up. So really, yeah, it's resiliency from the grid, but also, that electric bill wasn't cheap either.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about these modern hybrid systems is now you can kind of have both the benefits of both, right? You can eliminate your electric bill, even in a place like this where they don't offer a one-for-one net metering buyback. You can generate your own solar, you can consume your own battery storage, energy from your own battery storage at nighttime, so that basically the power company becomes the last resort provider. Right. So you are being able to consume as much of that energy, and then still having a generator backup option for those that want maximum redundancy. And of course, for those of you who've been following the channel for a while, I've always advocated for, if you want maximum redundancy, go with a solar system and a battery system that gives you that generator recharge option. That way, if you do lose grid power and you hit a patch of bad weather where the solar panels cannot keep up with charging the batteries fast enough, all you have to do is fire up the generator for a few hours, bring your batteries back full, and then you can go for running another day or two off of battery power. You're not having to burn fuel all day long.
Right. Yeah, so generators are fantastic for powering a large load, but of course you're burning a similar amount of fuel, whether you're running fridges, lights, or your entire HVAC system. So with the batteries, it's great because you're running super quiet and efficient, and when you need to charge the batteries, you're running your generator at its maximum, most efficient level for your fuel, running it for a few hours and then turning it off instead of running 24/7 using all that fuel. So for a tank like this guy has, it's going to last him weeks, which if he had a continuous outage, it may only last him a few days.
Right.
So like I said, though, the batteries themselves are running it most of the time, and I was able to take data from his electric bill to kind of see generally how much he used, and now we're able to watch as the battery hardly hits 50% at night, and he has some wiggle room for outages, but he also gets the benefit of saving money at night.
Okay.
So,
So again,
cool.
so we're looking at a system that can do whole house electric bill, whole house battery backup, the generator recharge option. So tell us about some of the specs and specific requirements for this house. How much power, how much energy is being consumed, and then why the selection of the dual FlexBOSS 21 as the main engine of the system.
Right. So as you'll see a little bit later on the GridBOSS side of things, he has an additional shop and the house. So we needed to be able to combine those on one system so that he could have battery power for both. Because he uses his shop as a little bit of a community center, if you will. And so he wanted to have enough power for both. Now with his house, he does have an electric car. But other than that, his house was pretty efficient. We were seeing probably, one 12,000 watt inverter could get away with it. But once you get that electric car in there by itself, it can run 12,000 watts. So 2 seemed about perfect for 90% of applications. And since it's a FlexBOSS, if he has solar, he can do up to 32,000 watts. So 24,000 watts at night, 32,000 watts in the day. It worked out to where it'd easily cover his load since he's so efficient after all.
So with solar present, we've got 16 kilowatts output per inverter, so combined 32 kilowatts during daylight hours.
Right.
And then as far as what do we have in terms of battery storage here?
Yes, so each one of these are 16 kilowatt hours. So these are relatively new from EG4. They used to be 14.3. Now each 16, so we got 64 kilowatt
total
hours
with the 4 batteries.
Which is pretty large. That's not typical, but with EG4 products, it's becoming more cost effective to do larger systems. And most companies will say that you don't need quite as much, but I beg to differ. I say if you can get it, you're better off. So this system needed 3 in order to meet the surge capacity of these 2 units. You can get for each unit you need, it's like 1.2 batteries, so not quite 1 each, maybe one day, but as of now it kind of works out where you kind of need 16, you need a little bit more than just 16 kilowatt hours for 2 inverters anyway. It kind of works out. They've really found the perfect level of kilowatt hours to actual capacity.
Yeah, well,
that just works out.
Because you touched on a couple of things here, so I want to just explain for the benefit of the audience.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that right now on the market, there are a lot of LFP home batteries that are at this 16 kilowatt hour size factor, and it's because there's a certain efficiency with how the cells are laid out inside that it's cost effective if you do them at the 16 kilowatt hour mark as opposed to the previous you said was just over 14 kilowatt hour.
Right.
So that's why you see that. But the other point here is this, is that the inverter itself has the potential to put out more power than, let's say, what a single battery could provide. So a lot of times what you're going to see for whole house setups is for a single inverter, you may see 2 batteries for a single inverter setup so that single inverter could run at max power just off of batteries. Or in the case of a multi-inverter setup like this, you might see 3 or 4 batteries. And the idea is have enough battery, not just storage capacity, but have enough battery output amperage capacity to be able to run the inverter at full power.
Right.
So.
And that's at full power, because I will say you can use one inverter with 1 battery. You may have seen that before. That just has to limit the inverter, which you can do in the settings. You can change it to whichever battery you would like to use. But as we'll get into earlier, I like keeping it all one brand for not only the UL listing sake, but for compatibility in the future and warranty claims, all being under the EG4 umbrella, we think is a safer bet for the long run.
Sounds good. Now, what kind of information can you get once the system has been installed as it is here? What kind of information can you get through the app and through the monitoring?
Yes, that's perfect. So the app that the customer gets and I get, we can both view the same things. So we get to see the daily production of the solar. We get to see the output from the pushing and the pulling from the grid. most specs that you get to see from leading inverter brands, but they do display it in a convenient way that's easy for the customer to see. And if there is any settings that you want to change, I'd say the most common one would be how much battery you use at night. So if you have a storm coming and you see it, and we're all talking about it, some hurricane, tornado that's coming our way.
You get them a lot here. We actually just had a severe storm when I flew in yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
So the homeowner can go into their app and they can choose, 90%, I believe, is the max recommended storage of the battery. That way it uses a little bit, so from 100% down to 90%. That way 90% is saved for that big outage. Then once the storm has passed, they can set that back down to 50%, or in this case, 30%. They just thought, well, I have the batteries, let's use them. And if we really are in a long-term outage, I have that generator to back me up. And so far, it's been a good bet, because even with the current array that he has and everything, he hardly hits 50% on a typical day. It has to be a week of cloudiness to really get those batteries all the way down, because the size array that he has, which I believe here is a 27 kW, a little bit larger than most people have, even in a cloudy day, that can charge these batteries pretty effectively. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Brian, I understand that one of the things that helped with this installation and really helped streamline it for you as a contractor electrician was doing the grid interconnection and all the AC interconnections using the FlexBOSS. So just answer for now. So did you have to modify any of the internal circuitry inside the house, or was it all done above the main loads?
Right. So thankfully, a newer electrician did install this house, and so the main thing that we typically have to fix is the neutral and ground bonding in the main panel. Typically, if it's anything before 2023 and that line of NEC code, typically people just slam all the neutrals and grounds on whatever bus fits. And that doesn't help me very, very much. But in this case, all we had to do for this system was actually the shop. It wasn't grounded properly for this setup. So we did a few modifications when we combined it after the FlexBOSS. And then that was relatively it. It was large conductor side after the meter. Whereas typical with older systems, we would have to be doing a lot more, which you'll see later at the FlexBOSS level.
So this has been a look at a whole house solar and battery backup solution using the FlexBOSS 21 hybrid inverter as well as the EG4 wall mount batteries. Brian, thanks again for taking time to chat with me and our audience. And thank you all for spending some more time on the Solar Surge channel.
Thanks.
But that does it for today's video. As always, I'm Joe Ordia here, encouraging you to get prepared and be empowered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.